Alright, so I want to do a short video for you guys that are gone too over a little bit more complicated ones here. We did the generic power rule on the previous video, and that seemed pretty straightforward to you. This is still the power rule, but in order to do this, you're going to want to rewrite this not as a fraction, okay, before you do the derivative. So in other words, 1 over x to the fifth could actually be written as what?
X to the negative fifth.
X to the negative 5 power. The reason you want to write it that way is so it's easier to use the power rule. So now my derivative, y prime, will equal, you take this number here, multiply by what's in front, so I'll just give you a negative 5, and then x will be raised to the what power? Negative 6. I'm honestly fine if you want to leave your answer like that. Okay, negative 5, x to the negative 6th power. If you have an issue of leaving negative exponents in your answer and you want to write it as negative 5 over x to the 6th, that is perfectly fine too. They're the same thing if you don't like those negative exponents. Okay? So that was number 7 on page 115. Number 8 is nearly identical. Number 9 is the 5th root of x. So f of x equals the 5th root of x. Again, this will just take a rewrite at the start. The 5th root is really x raised to what power? 1/5. So now we're still going to go ahead and use our power rule. The 1/5 gets brought to the front. So now I'll have 1/5 x to what power? Not quite. Love fractions. We're still taking away 1. What's 1/5 take away 1?
Oh, yeah.
1/5 take away 5/5. Negative 4/5. Yep. Alright, I'll do enough fractions that you'll get pretty good with them. Okay? So, but that'd be your answer. 1/5 x to the negative 4/5. I mean, if you're dead set again on no negative exponents, okay, we could really bring out a lot of algebra rules here. We could do 1 over 5 x to the 4/5. We could write it like that. Okay, because the 5's already on the bottom, and we'd move that down to the bottom so it's got a power, positive power. You could do this then, 1 over 5 times the 5th root of x to the 4th, if you really wanted to do it that way. But does that algebra, those concepts of simplifying kind of start ringing a bell a little bit? So, again, if we're just doing quick derivatives, this is totally fine. Just understand that at the back of the book shows you this. Make sure you can follow that you're understanding that what you have is the same thing. And again, I'm usually, just for speed purposes, as soon as you get your derivative, it's fine. Sometimes I do ask you to get rid of negative exponents, so just make sure you're prepared to be able to do that just a little bit, get rid of some negative exponents, but a lot of times we just kind of keep rolling. Okay? So that's number 9. Number 10 would be very similar. Let me jump to number 28. Y equals pi over the quantity 3x squared. So if I have y equals pi over the product 3x squared, I'm going to do a lot of rewriting before I do this derivative. What might you guys think we'll do here? I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to write it in a nice way so doing the derivative is really easy. First thing maybe would be
Okay,
like the exponent.
so you don't want a denominator, I see what you're saying. That would be okay, but we got that 3 in there.
Yeah.
I might just go ahead and square it first. Take 3x times itself. And then start moving things. That way I can get rid of the parentheses. So that'd be pi over what?
9x.
9x squared. The 9's stuck down there, but just because that's 9 is down there, what fraction can I kind of have in front of everything then if we just got a 9 on the bottom? 1/9, right? So this could really be written as 1/9, what now? 1/9 pi x to the -2 power. That's probably how I would rewrite it before I would go about doing the derivative. Don't let pi fool you. Pi is not a variable. Pi is a value, right? It's a number. Okay, so it's just going to kind of stay in there. It's going to be part of your answer too. So in this case then y prime, you still take your exponent, multiply it by what's in front. So if I have 1/9 pi and I take that times the -2, what do you get? -2/9 pi. Yep. The -2/9 pi, and then you have x to what power? -3. Thank you. It's almost a guarantee that someone's going to say -1 on that. All right. So just make sure that you're able to multiply it, lower the power by 1. Again, I'm probably going to be fine with you leaving your answer this way. But just to practice on some simplifying, anybody want to put this in a fraction for me? We'll just leave it. I'll leave the negative out in front.
Would it be
2 pi. Yep. Same thing. Okay. So, but again, this is probably going to be okay, but sometimes I might ask you to get rid of negative exponents, so then you want to move it down to the bottom with the 9.